Jess and I'm a third-year business student majoring in economics and international business. As a part of my studies, I have had the opportunity to intern here at News Corp Australia, not only one of the most iconic firms nationally, but all around the globe. Following News Corp's acquisition of News Regional Media at the beginning of the year, my internship predominantly focused on identifying areas of opportunity in terms of operational efficiency, specifically in relation to completing a time and motion study. This was completed in identifying areas of opportunity for not only News Corp Australia, but also News Regional Media, and how these companies can come together efficiently and combine. I start a usual day in the office by arriving at my desk, which sits within the sales support team, checking my emails and daily diary, and then moving to the specific business group being studied. I aim to spend approximately 2 hours with each member of the team before analysing the data in Excel and collating into a PowerPoint presentation in order to prepare strategic recommendations for each of the respective team leaders. Conducting this time and motion study has allowed me to gain insight into both News Corp Australia and News Regional Media processes, but furthermore, how these processes differ between the both business groups. During this, I got to demonstrate strong communication skills, both written and verbally, to audiences of which had different purposes and contexts. For example, some areas of the business were solely focused on team communication, whereas others were heavily process-driven. Whilst at the start of my internship, I predominantly wanted greater insight into the strategy and business operations behind such a large organisation, this task instead allowed me to continue to develop my analytical skills within Microsoft Excel. Whilst this time and motion study has taken up 95% of my time whilst interning here at News Corp, I briefly got to work with media strategists Ali and Deanne on a high-level marketing strategy for the business. This involved conducting extensive research of the current business landscape in order to identify potential areas of opportunity within the market for News Corp to capitalise on. Whilst the content of this project is super secret, it made me consider how social responsibility is becoming increasingly important for company success. During this, I demonstrated various professional skills, not only the ability to exercise independent judgment, but importantly resourcefulness within a team environment. With marketing being a relatively foreign field to me, this meant I actively needed to show initiative in adapting and applying my current knowledge and skill set for effective planning and problem solving on this task. In order to truly reflect on my internship here at News Corp Australia, it is important to consider my expectations versus the reality of what happened. Knowing that my internship role predominantly centred around fostering change and innovation to create greater operational synergies between the recently acquired company. When I first started, I initially pondered whether I would actually be able to drive change in such a large organisation. As a soon-to-be business graduate, I understand that large organisations like News Corp can often be relatively slow-paced in driving change due to the hierarchical management and extensive daily agendas of management, which often means that recommendations are received with hesitation and limited time given to them. I was pleasantly surprised during my time here at News Corp Australia, as I was often encouraged to share my recommendations in my few meetings with my supervisor. Now, whilst I was provided with this opportunity, I remain sceptical as to whether any of these recommendations will be implemented in the future, due to the intense schedules of management and high-level staff. Secondly, at the start of my internship, I was under the impression I would spend a significant amount of time with my supervisor, in order to gain insight into his role as the operations manager for direct sales in Queensland, but further to gain real-world business experience to enhance my career opportunities. However, as I progressed throughout my internship, I found this was not the case, as he had a very intense schedule and getting his time proved extremely difficult and challenging. As a result, I had to seek assistance and guidance from other people within the organisation when needed, and meant much of my time was self-directed and guided. I set a goal at the beginning of my internship to create 7 meaningful LinkedIn connections. And although I haven't done that right now, I feel the few connections I have established in person, whilst not necessarily in my preferred business career, may potentially prove to be more highly valuable in my career in the future. Despite some of the points raised during the reflection, my internship at News Corp Australia has certainly given me greater insight into the world of work. An important takeaway from this internship for not only me, but for future interns, whether this be at News Corp Australia, another global organisation, or even a small firm, is that even if some expectations are not met, for example, not gaining the level of strategic insight hoped for, the whole internship experience, as well as the other learnings gained, are invaluable for not only building career opportunities, but also personal and professional development.